Hello. Today's daily dose, extracting the medicine, is about the medicine of communication. So much in here. Of course, there's so many striations we could go through here because there's so much in communication. Well, this is particularly around our come from. Everything is the come from. So I'm in a scenario right now where I am negotiating. I'm not negotiating. I am being called to play hardball. And I can really play hardball. I have a lawyer background. I am also I'm from New York. That doesn't hurt. I could play hardball. I prefer not to. I prefer to meet heart to heart. I prefer to really come from a conscious place and choose conscious words and make sure that what I'm speaking doesn't have any kind of negative imprint so that I can have conscious influence. This is part of the conscious influence and the vocabulary of increase that we all learn, right? And so the medicine here for me, and I find this helpful if I share it with you, so that the way you extract the medicine is being aware, self-aware, and being able to observe not only yourself, but like, what is the situation asking for from me? And so in the scenario that I'm in, I invested a lot of money in something, and it's not aligned for me. It doesn't feel congruent with my values, and I only learned that after the investment happened because of what had just transpired, what induced the sale, or the investment. And I am absolutely receiving this money back. And now my journey is to actually make that happen, actually figure out how do I need to communicate in order to make this happen. So I'm being really present with this. So the first response was through very conscious communication and taking responsibility and like all of it, really being impeccable with my word. And I see that that's not landing. So I pause and I say, what's the medicine here for me? What is the medicine here for me? And it is that, being able to discern and perceive and discern what the come from has to be. Where do I have to meet people if they're unable to actually hear? Because some people are not, or some folks, it's just not, they're not able to meet you there and really receive what you're saying if you come from a certain place. And so it's finding the alchemy of communication, dialing it to who and what situation you're speaking in so that you have the outcome you want. Now, this sounds obvious, right? It's like, yeah, of course, obviously, you got to speak to who you're speaking to. And it's not a superpower to just kind of dial in and meet them where they are. I like to hold people, not only meet them where they are, but bring them where I am, because most often people are coming from fear or what they perceive as consciousness or what they perceive as the best outcome, even though they're not really hearing what you're saying. So the invitation for me is, wow, how do I work with the alchemy of hardball and conscious communication so that I can get what I want? It sounds basic. It sounds like, oh, duh, obviously that's what you would do, but it's actually a science and it is a practice and it is it takes intention. So I want to invite this kind of inquiry within yourself around the medicine of communication. Where are you communicating? And with all of my clients, there's always a communication factor. It's like the come from. Everything is the come from. If you feel like you're bumping up against boundaries, you're not getting what you want, people are always taking advantage of me, I'm not enough, like all of the things, right? They all come down to, well, let's just dive in and dissect your communication. And so this is an invitation to do that. And for you to say, how can I extract medicine from a dynamic conversation, a situation you're in, or just in general, your communication? So the daily dose, extracting the medicine, your communication. Thanks for being here, and please subscribe to the channel. And if this was useful at all, or any of these videos, including the podcast Catalyst Talks, please share and help us grow this channel. There's so much important and amazing content here. The conversations I have with thought leaders and change agents they're really deep. So if you find value, I'd really appreciate if you can subscribe, give a comment, share, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it right now. Okay, thanks.